What's going on, YouTube? Northeast Ohio here for our weekly newsy slash recap slash market stuff video. I got a little more news type items this week than normal before we dive into some charts. Charts wise, we're most going to be talking baseball actually and basketball, as obviously. But baseball market's really moving lately. So, but I got two big news items I want to talk about, and one I may end up doing a completely separate video on. We will see. But YouTube nonsense down below. Like, comment, sub, all that jazz. If you're watching and not subscribed, click the subscribe button, notification bells. I think I'm supposed to tell you guys to click on that too. All the usual other stuff is down there. Promo code for new users to Starstock. I did the Starstock live stream on Friday night. Just kind of a general Q&A type thing. Ran about an hour and 20 minutes. So any of you guys got to check that out. Hope that was helpful. And obviously we'll be in Market Movers for a majority of the video, and the links to that are down below as well, along with the coupon code for the discount for that. So let's get into it. The biggest thing of the week is this, and I made a video about this a couple months ago, the fake BGS Slabs. Card Porn, great Instagram follow, has found another one. Actually, they found quite a few. I'm not going to get into like the full details of everything. I would highly recommend checking out their IG. They've essentially found about 50 to 60 of these things over the last few months, and that's without them even looking. That's just, they're cruising eBay looking at stuff and stumble across them. So, and BGS still has not given a real response to this issue at all. The only response they've given was the tweet a few months ago that basically just said, be careful out there, look real close. And that's basically it. They've been mum on the word. So this one, though, was a Jordan, 86 Jordan. Looks like we got another fake. Same. So the details are this just sold in August for $25K. The same serial number sold back in 2017 in a PWCC auction. The problem is, and I looked at it really quick. Like I said, we're not going to get into it. The cards aren't the same. When you compare the two photos side by side, it's not the same card. The centering's different. There's some markings on the corners that are different. This fake one clearly does not have 9.5 cornerings or 9.5's corners or edges. But yeah, when you look at them side by side, you see there's a big white mark right here on this one. That is not on the one that sold in May. And this one has the telltale signs of no period between the T in patent and the number at the bottom here. And the tag is clean cut instead of perforated. Those are two of the warning signs. And then there's some other ones too. Once again, I would recommend checking out the Card Porn IG for all the details on this. But this is, in my opinion, BGS has been on the downhill slide most of this year. All the grading companies are a mess when it comes to turnaround times. They're the hottest of hottest mess. They're the 2020 of grading companies. They've had the fake card scandal. Their prices are, their BGS 9.5 pricing has really slipped. They're one of the most expensive to grade with the fewest return unless you get a BGS 10 or a black label, which good luck. You're probably not getting one. Go look at the pop counts. All you people that post on Facebook that say, I'm going to cross this over to a BGS 10. This is the cleanest card I've ever seen in my life. Guess what? It's probably not a BGS 10. So submit your hopes, dreams, wings, and prayers off to BGS and get your BGS 9.5 with, true gem subgrades or whatever, when PSA 10s just outsell them anyway. If it's for PC and you like the looks of the slab, I get it. But and this still hasn't, like, people in the know this is out there, but it really hasn't hit mainstream yet. Like, I don't think we've seen maybe Ravel did tweet about this, but it's just a matter of time. and this has to start affecting things, especially when you're talking about 86 Jordans. The last one that this got caught on was like a silver LeBron or something. That's one thing. An 86 Jordan is a whole nother level. And the 86 Jordan appears to be real. It is just not a 9.5. And this goes back to the people that love to rag on grading and say, buy the card, not the grade, which, is true in theory, but a lot of people just blindly trust what's on the label, good, bad, or indifferent. So I know personally, I have a couple BGS slabs. Mine actually only have 3, but 2 of them are 2 of the bigger cards that I own: a Luka base rookie prism and a Giannis rookie prism, both BGS 9.5s. Both mine passed the smell test. I bought them a couple years ago. They have the correct dots in places, and the slips look the way that they are supposed to look. So I'm not concerned that mine are fake, but I'm concerned of the market value of BGS slabs going forward, and this continuing to hurt them as this gets out there more and more high profile cards are found. Imagine if you bought this Jordan, how are you feeling today on that one? And now this is out there with that serial number, etc. So buying cards today, I always used to say, you can get really good deals on BGS 9.5s if you could find them. I would not buy a BGS slabbed card at the moment, regardless of what it is. Not so much because I'm worried that the card that I'm buying is fake, more so that I am genuinely concerned about their overall market health as a grading company. And I truly think it's just a matter of time before they get passed. One of my hot takes for this upcoming year was that SGC would pass them up. I don't know if it's going to be SGC that has them, but this kind of goes into the next thing we're going to talk about. And that is CSG is launching next month. We're going to get into their pricing here in a second. We might not do a deep dive on this. I probably will end up doing a separate video on CSG. So we're just going to briefly touch on this. I don't want this video to be 45 minutes long. But CSG is launching. This is what their slabs look like. It's kind of a knockoff BGS slab because guess what? They hired the head grader from BGS to handle their grading. So you have the subgrades. If you want them, you could pay extra for them. And yeah, that's their slab. My biggest concern is, and I like subgrades on cards, I really do, but if their primary grade is going to be a 9.5, are we just going to have the same problem that BGS has competing with PSA 10, that people like the 10 in the corner, not a 9.5? Because in my mind, that's actually what hurt BGS the most. People just wanted to see a 10, not a 9.5. They did release pricing. I am not going to get into that in this video because that'll take a bunch of time. I would like to do a deep dive on that. So I will probably record a separate video specific to CSG and probably drop that maybe Monday or Tuesday morning. Maybe we'll go Monday morning. Let's say we'll call Monday morning for that one. Maybe. Depends how the Browns game goes. So that's coming. What do you guys think about the slab? Let me know in the comments down below. I need to feel it personally. Does it feel sturdy like a BGS slab? Does it feel fine like a PSA slab? Or does it feel cheap like an SGC slab? I need to feel it in my hand. And I say they're not really a new company. They are new to grading sports cards. CGC, one of their main offshoots, is the go-to for comic book grading. And their slabs are nice. I've never submitted anything to CGC, but I have CGC graded comic books. I have probably about a dozen CGC graded comic books, give or take. Maybe not even a dozen, but I have a handful. And they're sturdy. They look nice. Their label looks nice, etc., etc. So I'm curious to see if the look of this reminds me of what their comic slabs look like. So I will tell you, I will probably at least try them if for nothing else, to be totally upfront with you, content. Just to kind of experiment for you guys to see, to run you through what their process is, what their turnaround times are in real world, and do a submission with them and see what happens when it comes back, how they resale, etc. I will not send them anything super crazy high end, but I will probably at least send them something that's semi-liquid, something that at least some people might want, maybe like, some Keldon Johnson or something, you know what I mean? Something that's trendy in the market, not just something that'll slip through the cracks that no one's ever going to look at. But I'm going to go through some stuff. I have a pile of stuff that needs graded anyway. I'm going to look at their pricing. And I want to get stuff ready to go to ship out to them the second that they open the doors, and just see what they're all about. I'm not expecting a big return on it because it's a brand new grading company, but I'm curious and I want to try it because competition's good. So that's CSG. I'm going to keep saying CGC from my comic book buying, but yeah, CSG slabs, they are coming. And like I said, we will do a separate video breaking down all their pricing, but let me know what you guys think of the slab and just CSG entering the marketplace in general. Are you interested? Are you going to try them? Are you just writing them off? Do you think they're just the new SGC and forget these guys? Or do you think that they have a legit chance to, no one's going to give PSA a run for their money at the moment, especially not a brand new company, but do they have a chance by the end of the year to be the number 2 or the firm number 3? Do they blow past SGC, or does SGC and CSG both pass up BGS? I don't know. We'll see, but I'd like to get one of their slabs in my hand and feel it, touch it, hold it, sleep next to it, cuddle it, and see what it feels like. So those are the 2 newsy items. Let's get into some charts. Baseball first. The first guy we're getting into, Francisco Lindor. Traded by my beloved Cleveland Indians. I don't care what you end up calling them, Dolan. They're the Cleveland Indians. To be quite honest, as a Northeast Ohio sports fan, the future Cleveland Dolan's discounts are pretty much dead to me. I've been very frustrated with that organization for a while, mostly due to their lack of wanting to spend payroll. Essentially, the day they let Michael Brantley walk out the door, when they had a World Series contending team, I basically said I would never spend another penny going to a game, and I haven't. I've gone for free through work a couple times, but I've never paid out of pocket since they let Brantley walk. And I've become more disillusioned with that franchise as time has gone on, based on other penny pinching moves, now the name change, and the Lindor Carrasco trade. They've had a very good team the last few years, and they refuse to spend money on it, at least enough to put them over the hump, just to be a low entry playoff contender. So because they like to just spend the revenue sharing money on themselves, essentially is what it is. Baseball's a mess. It has its own issues, but the Cleveland Dolan discounts, which is what I will now call them going forward, have broken me. So end of rant. Anyway, Lindor got traded to the Mets, and his prices skyrocketed. He is up 44% on the week, started it at 36, ended it at 53. And this is just as raw. Tops update. I didn't even look at PSA. Let's see what PSA 10s are doing. Usually I run this for PSA 10s. Look at that. Just a straight line. Up 25%, 285 to 358. Lindor actually had a pretty bad season last year. I'm not really going to hold a lot of season stuff to players last year because last year's baseball season was a shit show, with all the COVID stuff. So all right, moving on. I got to get off that screen. Hurts. His new running mate, Pete Alonso, up 20% on his Topps base PSA 10 paper. What I noticed is the chrome has not gone up. The paper caught up to the chrome, and the chrome hasn't bumped. So when you look at the charts, the chrome's the pink one. It stayed relatively flat while the paper took a huge bump to catch the chrome. In my mind, if I was buying baseball, which I'm going to start dabbling in again, I always do, but I don't take it as seriously as I do basketball. To me, the chrome looks like a decent buy here based off the data, especially with them. The Mets are going to be the trendy team heading into the season. There is no doubt about it. The trick is when does the season start? No one seems to know. Also up in baseball, let's talk about the big guns. And this is 2 weeks in a row now. These guys have been, actually, it's about 3 full weeks. 2 weeks we've talked about them. Tatis, Soto, and Acuna stuff is going crazy. Tatis tops chrome PSA 10 and paper PSA 10. The chrome, or once again, the paper is up 20% to 245. This week, the chrome did not move that much. It stayed relatively flat, only up 4%. And once again, you could see this actually dipped back down a little bit. It was up to 300 almost. The modern baseball, I prefer the chrome. I know the old baseball heads want their paper, but sorry, I come from the basketball world and I like shiny things. Soto also up again. Once again, the chrome, this time's the reverse. The chrome's really moving this last week. It's up over $400 now. Up to another 20%. The paper's lagging behind again. Is sitting at 300, up 8%, only up $20. I think this paper has room to go, though the pop counts are a lot higher. But you could see these cards, like if I blow this chart back, let me go back 180 days. These two lines usually stay. And in fact, at one point in time, they were identical. You could see the chrome's pulled far. We got an outlier sale there, but look at how close these two were to each other during baseball season. And look at how far apart they've gotten in the off season. In my mind, as much as I like chrome, I think there's some extra built-in value on the paper, at least at current prices. If I was buying one fresh that I wanted to hold for a long period of time, I would go for the chrome. But if I'm looking to buy now and flip in April or May or whatever, I think the paper's got some extra bounce to it that hasn't caught up yet. So just my opinion and based on the numbers and the charting. But either one of the cards are great. He's probably the best player in baseball. Basketball. Oh, the wonderful world of basketball. We got people going up. We got people going down. As per usual, I make a video about someone and talk about how they're not doing that great. And then Kobe White decides to go off. Latest example. He had a nice little run the last few days, and his prices have spiked back up after taking a downturn recently. So he's beginning to pull out of the doldrums, apparently, and we will see where he ends up. But both his base is up 15%, his silver is up 10%. So a nice little move for Kobe White after having about 3 good games in a row since the last time I made a video about him. Also, continuing to play great, DeAndre Hunter. He looks just fantastic. And as I mentioned in the video on Friday, full disclosure, I hated this guy in the preseason. I did not think he was going to get enough minutes or shots. And then everybody got hurt. Tonight, I have not seen, I'm recording this Saturday night. I have not seen details yet. I don't know that there are yet on the injury. But Bogdan Bogdanovic had to leave the game and get helped off the court with a knee injury. So the Hunter run, in my mind, is going to continue. Now, Trey's been struggling the last few games, but Hunter has been playing fantastic. His base is up 10%, PSA 10. His silver PSA 10 is up 20%. His silver PSA 10 is now up to 450, and his base is up to 170. So that's some pretty nice movement out of DeAndre Hunter. And he's, like I said, he's been looking fantastic. Reddish had a good game tonight, but he took like 1 billion shots to get there. I was down on both of them. To me, Hunter definitely looks like the real deal, and Reddish, I'm still not a believer. And then his like sister running mate of the super trendy rookies that come out of nowhere from the 19 class for this year, Keldon Johnson. His stuff continues to be on fire. Once again, on the week, his base PSA 10 Prism is up 22%, up to $318. Started the week at $260. And then his silver is up 17%, touching $835. And I actually say the high is 950. I saw a couple of these sell for over $900. And he played Saturday night and played great. He's not like the biggest scorer all the time, but he just puts up stats in every freaking category. And he's playing extremely well. He guards everybody. Like, he's the perfect Spurs player. So, and the internet adores him. So if he ever goes on a scoring run, I think his prices will go up even higher. Personally, I think if you haven't bought KJ yet, I think you're leaving a lot of the meat's off that bone already. Does he have room to go higher? Yes, probably. But I would probably wait for the inevitable dip that's going to come. And I mean, maybe it doesn't come, but in my opinion, he's at the peak of his prices for a while. I think maybe he keeps going up because he keeps playing well, but it would be really hard for me to tell you to go buy in the Keldon Johnson right now at these prices. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I could just see him cooling off for a week and then maybe 10 or 20% comes off and then you dive back in and pick him up if you haven't gotten him yet. But maybe he just keeps playing great and prices keep continuing to go up, 5 to 10 to 15% a week. Let's talk about some guys going down. Rui down 20% on his PSA 10 Prism. Started the week at 175, entering at 140, and he is just extremely inconsistent. So maybe this is the spark that he needs. I'm going to talk trash about Rui, so that means he's in line for about 3 30-point games. Saturday night, Beal and Westbrook both did not play, and he didn't do much. When Beal and Westbrook play, it's near impossible for him to get shots up. So I just don't know how he really breaks out. Also, that Wizards team is just not good. They've been playing terribly. So it's not like he's going to get a playoff bump, most likely. Maybe they make a play-in game, but that team's really struggling to start the season. And he's a perfectly fine NBA player. He's a role player at best, I think, honestly, at least at this point in time. Maybe he develops into something more, but I don't think he's like first team all NBA in the next couple years or anything crazy like that. I know there's a lot of people that really like Rui, but all these people that come out of the woodwork when you talk about a player, guys, not everybody from the last 2 years rookie class is going to be an all NBA player. Some of these guys are going to be just your average NBA player, which is fine, but that's not good for their cards. So I'm not big on Rui. I never really have been. I just don't see his path to stardom on that team. Ja. Let's do a little Ja update. Okay, I ran these charts. This is not the last 7 days. He's down about 5% the last 7 days. I went back all the way to the day before the injury, because I'm going to keep tracking this weekly just to kind of see where things sit. So his 4 major cards, Ja Optic, these are all PSA 10, Prism PSA 10, Concourse PSA 10, and Premier PSA 10. The Optic and the Prism are down about 15%. I've seen off eBay, you could get, someone was selling a Ja today on the STI Discord for like $610, $615, I think it was. So you could get them for around $600, I think, in local deals or off eBay if people aren't paying the fees. So if you want Ja PSA 10s, now's your time. Now the Select have not gone down as much. I have a theory about this because they were trending that way and then they got bumped back up, and a lot of Select got bumped up because Jeff Wilson, sports card investor, whose software we're using right now, made a video about how he is essentially all in on Select. Now he is all in on sealed wax, but I noticed after he made that video, because I would really like to pick up one of these, a Premier Select Ja PSA 10. I was following a bunch of active listings that were like best offer, buy it now, around $450 to $480, that I was keeping an eye on, hoping that maybe they would come a little bit lower with the injury. And he posted that video on us last Sunday morning. By that afternoon, actually by lunch that day, they were all gone. Someone had gone in and bought a bunch of them up. And the auctions have been selling for back to pre-injury comps on the select stuff. So I think select in general, and I noticed actually looking at other cards that select stuff was outperforming things a little bit more than normal. So I think this past week, select got a little inflated from Jeff's video. That's my guess anyway. Just based off the numbers that I'm seeing. Select got a little bump from him talking about it and how much he is all in on Select, which a lot of people are. I really like Select too. I've talked about it plenty of times, but I'm not into it for $500,000 like Jeff is. Next, Zion continues to go down. Zion's down another 12% on the week. His base prism down to 750. I get more and more mad every day that Ja got hurt, just solely for the fact that my boldest prediction was that Ja PSA 10 Prism passes Zion's PSA 10 Prism this year. And I think it would have already happened. I thought I was really going out on a limb with that one, and I think it already happened. And it still might happen, even with him twisting his ankle and being out for a while. But yeah, Zion continues to trend down, down another 13%. And if we run this back to, and I was a little wrong on this one, I thought he would come out of the gates hot and his prices would spike up again, but we just haven't seen that yet. So the NBA season started on 12/22. Let's look at his prices since the season started. Down 15%. He was at 850, almost 900 right before the season started. And he's down all the way to 750 now. You can see he peaked Christmas Day. We have some 970s on Christmas Day. And then now he's all the way down to 750. So almost a $200 drop when you don't factor in the averages. He was building up to the NBA season, stayed flat. And he's, once again, we've talked about Zion on the last few videos. He's been playing fine. He's just not like lighting the world on fire. So I just think his stuff's coming back to earth a little bit. And, you know, his stuff was overinflated to begin with price wise. And I haven't been shy about it. I'm not the biggest Zion fan in the world when it comes to investing. He's fun to watch. Yes. I think he's great for the league. Yes. Would I want to be holding a ton of his cards that I bought for a quote unquote investment purpose? Absolutely not. He scares the hell out of me from an investing side of things. So and that's why I've talked about on here plenty of times before. Most of my Zion I have sold. I have a few, probably a half a dozen graded Zion stuff of actually a lot of it's in SGC slabs. And most of my Zion stuff I have sold off long ago to get out from under it and spend that money on Ja and Luka and Tatum and the players that I do like as long-term holds. So prior to recording this video, the news broke about Tatum being in health and safety protocols. It sounds like he's going to be out 14 days. I'm going to be very curious. This is the first. I mean, there's been plenty of people that got hit with this, but he's like the first of the big time stars that have gotten hit with a full 2-week protocol. MPJ just got hit with one too a couple days ago. And I noticed people were selling his stuff. Prices haven't dipped yet, but I'm noticing more and more of his stuff getting posted. So I'm going to be curious on next week's charts. What does MPJ and what does Tatum look like? MPJ will be about 10 days into a second quarantine because he already quarantined once for a week. Now he's out a full 14, I think. Or maybe it's 10. And then Tatum's out for 14 days. So does Tatum take a dip, missing 2 weeks of the season for health and safety protocols? My guess is yes. And I like Tatum as a long-term hold. So I'm going to be closely monitoring the Tatum market to see if there's something maybe I could sneak in on and pick up on the dip. I've been doing the same with Ja. I haven't bought anything since Ja got hurt, but I've been in play on some things and got outbid or whatever at the last minute or couldn't come to a price on some stuff, but my radar is out looking for Jaw stuff. We'll be doing a mail day shortly. I bought a couple Jaw cards right before he got hurt, actually like the day before he got hurt. I'm just a curse this year. One of them came pretty quickly, but I wanted to wait for the second card to come to do the mail day video. And USPS was holding it hostage for 3 weeks almost. I finally got it today. So I'll probably do that video one day this week. That'll be a quick one because it's just 2 cards. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys for this week. Sorry for the extra length on this video, but there was just a lot of stuff to talk about between the charts and the newsy stuff at the front half. So early next week, look for a CSG video. We'll go through their pricing really quick and talk about that. And then we'll do that Jaw mail day at some point in time and whatever else random pops up. So that's all I have for you guys. Like, comment, sub, all the YouTube stuff. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.